This is the tragic story of Tausha Morton, true crime documentary. A devoted father suddenly vanishes. A young mother moves on without a trace of concern. For years, his family searches for answers, but the truth remains buried. Until one day, a confession unravels a web of deception, betrayal, and murder. This is the tragic story of Tausha Morton, where love turned to hate and justice came too late. In the heart of Missouri, in the small town of West Plains, life seemed simple. Families were close-knit, and people looked out for one another. Among them was Mitch Kemp, a hard-working, kind-hearted man devoted to his son. Mitch had once been in a relationship with Tausha Morton, a charismatic yet controlling woman. Though they had a son together, their relationship crumbled. Still, Mitch was determined to be a present father. Tausha soon moved on, marrying Greg Morton. But something about their relationship wasn't right. Mitch still wanted to be involved in his son's life, but Tausha had other plans that would soon turn deadly. The disappearance of Mitch Kemp. One day in April 2004, Mitch Kemp vanished without a trace. No calls, no goodbyes. He simply disappeared. His friends and family knew something was wrong. He would never leave his son behind. Weeks turned into months, then years. Mitch's loved ones pleaded with authorities to investigate, but there were no leads, no crime scene, no evidence, until 2007, when the case took a shocking turn. The breakthrough confession. After 3 years of silence, Greg Morton finally cracked. He confessed to something unthinkable. Mitch Kemp hadn't left town willingly. He had been murdered. Greg admitted that one night in April 2004, he lured Mitch into his truck under the guise of discussing family matters. But what Mitch didn't know was that Tausha had already made up her mind. She wanted him gone. Greg shot Mitch multiple times, killing him instantly. Under Tausha's instructions, he disposed of the body in a remote location, ensuring no one would ever find him. But Greg wasn't the mastermind. He pointed the finger directly at Tausha Morton, his wife and the mother of Mitch's child. The courtroom battle. In 2009, Tausha Morton stood trial for the murder of Mitch Kemp. Prosecutors painted her as the mastermind behind the crime, a woman so desperate for control that she orchestrated a brutal execution. Greg testified that Tausha had manipulated him, convincing him that Mitch needed to be eliminated. The evidence was damning. Phone records, witness testimonies, and Greg's own confession sealed her fate. But Tausha denied everything. She claimed Greg acted alone. She insisted she had nothing to do with Mitch's death. But the jury wasn't convinced. Justice delivered, but at what cost? Tausha Morton was found guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Greg, having testified against her, received a lighter sentence but would never walk free again. But the real victim wasn't just Mitch Kemp. It was their son. He lost both parents that day, one to death and the other to a lifetime behind bars. Tausha Morton thought she could get away with murder. She believed she could erase Mitch from her life and keep their son all to herself. But the past has a way of catching up to those who try to bury the truth. What are your thoughts on this case? Was justice truly served? Let us know in the comments below.